This is the fourth interview for The Social Academic, and today we'll be talking with Echo Rivera. We are now recording live. All right, Echo, tell me a little bit about you and your work.
Yeah, so what I do is I help academics and scientists and people like that basically communicate their work more effectively and creatively. So right now I'm focusing a lot on helping people create amazing slide presentations or beautiful reports or infographics and things like that. But it also includes things like really fun stuff like research comics or illustrations and things like that, because basically I just want to help everybody not have their hard work go to waste and use every tool at their disposal to get heard and make the type of impact that they want to make, so that nothing just sort of, gets lost in the void.
Absolutely. And I think having kind of those creative and visual approaches to it probably helps get more people engaged, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow, that's wonderful. I think that especially with like having the reports and the presentations with those like infographics, like having different types of visual ways of expressing that information, I just love that. So let's talk a little bit about what you call, Let's talk a little bit about what you call standard academic delivery. What is that? What is SAD?
So, so SAD is just sort of a term I came up with for a blog post that I wrote. And I was really just trying to describe how people tend to present, especially academics, because most of us, I know I didn't, and most people don't receive formal training on how to design engaging presentations. People think just because PowerPoint's easy to use, you can learn how to present just by watching other people. So what happens is we tend to follow the same bad habits of others, and we create presentations that are boring or confusing or overwhelming and frustrating for our audience when we don't even really realize it. So that's why I called it SAD for standard academic delivery. And what that looks like, just to give people some examples, is that's like a wall of text, like 50 words on a slide or more. So I encourage anyone who's listening to actually copy and paste how many words they have on a few slides, just to kind of see how many they have. I've seen slides with seriously 150, 200 words. So wow. It's a lot, but people don't really realize that because it's a small font and it's what everybody else does. So I'm really
going on a big screen, so sometimes it doesn't always feel like that when you're making it, but it's not the effect.
Exactly. That's that's a point that I make a lot, is that it looks very different from your screen on the big screen. So yeah, definitely. Some other examples are when people follow the 1 minute per slide rule. That's a very sad way to present. That's way too few slides. So that's another thing that shocks people. And then other common things that people probably won't be surprised to hear. Things like not using visuals, or using visuals that are actually things like word clouds or smart art or clip art, stuff like that. Or slides that are just on a template, like a default slide template that instantly makes your slides look very standard. So yeah, that's a sad presentation.
No, absolutely. So we've talked a little bit about what a standard academic delivery looks like. So what's the first step to having better presentations?
Yeah, so one of the most important things, it's actually a mindset thing, is I really want people to know that if you're using PowerPoint, if you're using Keynote, if you're using Google Slides, then you're fine. You can totally create really beautiful presentations, really engaging presentations with standard software. Just because it's standard software doesn't mean it has to be a sad presentation. And a lot of people, they come to me saying, I want to stand out. I want slides that look different. So how do I use Prezi? What do I need to use instead of PowerPoint to have better presentations? Yeah. So the first step is, chances are, just use what you have, but use it better. And I would also like to say that another step you can take to sort of do that is to subscribe to my newsletter, the Communication Cafe. And that's sort of for long-term professional development, because I'm always sharing tips on how to use your current software better, and special training events and special training videos and stuff like that only my email list sees. But I do specialize in helping you use the standard software, but just in a better way.
Absolutely. And I have found some great tips being part of the Communication Cafe. So I love your mailing list, and I encourage anyone who is listening to sign up, because Echo can change the way that you communicate your work.
Oh, you're so kind. Thank you.
No, I mean it. I really do. And I think that, presentation is all about, good two-way communication. The audience has to actually engage with the information for it to be successful.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that that's probably also true about people engaging on social media, which is kind of my big thing. How does social media play into talking about your work and your life?
Ooh, so yeah. Social media, how I use it, I use it to let people know who I am as a person and what I value. So I'm on Twitter a lot, and people who follow me can see through either what I write or what I retweet that I care a lot about social justice and social equity. And that's what my PhD was even focused on. I'm a community-based participatory researcher who, I learned strengths-based approaches. I learned about systemic changes as solutions, and I bring that to my work. Even when I'm training people on presentations, it's very strengths-based. I'm not shaming people. I really strive for it to be empowering. And that's just part of who I am as a person. And so seeing me on social media is a way that people can see that and know that first before, really working with me or engaging me.
Because it's part of who you are. Yeah.
It is. It really is. It's so important to me, and it's important. And a lot of people want to know that first. So I make sure I'm very honest and open and transparent about that on social media. So that's definitely one way. And then of course it's a great professional tool. It's how I connect with and engage with others. It's been the number one way I've grown my professional network, especially working from home. I'm not going
Absolutely.
It's how we met. So
it is. It is exactly how we met. And thank goodness that we did, because I have learned so much from you. And the people that you've introduced me to, the people that you've met in this field have been fascinating and equally as interesting and creative. And I just love how social media has brought all of these great people together.
Yeah, exactly. And especially when we're talking about things like design or things that maybe haven't caught on, it's just so great to meet people, and especially people like you, because we just validate each other, just like what we chose to do. It's sort of, Jennifer's out there doing some great design work, check her out. And I don't know, we boost each other by, hanging out and meeting on social media. So I absolutely love it for that. Yeah.
So you said that you like Twitter a lot. What does a typical social media day look like for you?
Okay. I might not maybe I shouldn't admit this, but I'm on Twitter all day long. It's terrible.
No, you should admit that, because, talking about it is what makes it okay for other people too.
Good.
I jump on Twitter all the time just to see what someone has said, or if there's a new article that's going around. I want to know what's going on. And I think Twitter is a great way to jump into the conversation. So what does that look like for you?
Yeah, I pretty much I'm checking Twitter before I even get out of bed, because I'm just slow to get out of bed. So yeah, I'm just, what did I miss? Have people sent me tweets, and, I respond to those, and I'm really just looking for when people are talking about communication, and, a lot of people tweet that they're frustrated with PowerPoint, or that they really want some tips on presentations, or does anybody have an idea of how I can be more creative? And I just kind of look for those kind of tweets, and sometimes I'll reply and, say, hey, I can help with that, or here's a blog post that I wrote that actually answers this question you're asking. So I really just look for ways to organically connect with people and answer their questions or help them with their, problems. Really, I'm just looking for people to chat with, really.
Yeah, I feel that way. I mean, I think it sounds like Twitter is probably your favorite platform. Instagram is my favorite platform because I find a lot of people that I can chat with on there. And I think that that kind of two-way actual conversation, like, oh, I have a problem. Oh, I can help you. Like that's something that's kind of beautiful. So
yeah, I love them both for that. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what is one tip that you would give to new people who are joining or starting to use Twitter?
I would say talk to people. Really just actually respond with words to a tweet, just liking tweets, only retweeting. You're not going to enjoy Twitter if that's all you do. It's just going to get really boring. So, if someone tweeted something you like, reply and say why, or even just throw a GIF, as your reply. I mean, every time somebody sends me a GIF in reply to one of my tweets, I'm usually laughing, and it just brings so much happiness to my day. So don't be afraid to do that, even if it is just a GIF. Just make sure you're engaging with people and actually talking to them. I think that's my number one tip.
So it's not just about liking other people's tweets. It's not just about retweeting. It's about actually getting in there and having some kind of conversation, even if it's just a small visual one, like with the GIFs. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to hear about what you have coming up. Do you have any big plans? What's going on in your life?
Ooh, I'm glad that you asked that question because I actually just decided 2 days ago to do something new. So this is sort of one of the first times I'm announcing it.
Ooh, I love it.
I know. So I'm basically going to create a new free online course that's going about presentations, and it's going to include graphic design hacks and time-saving tips and help with creating your own slide design instead of using a template. And I'm going to do it for PowerPoint, Keynote, and Google Slides. And
wow.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be lots of tech videos, lots of tips, but very short because I know academics are busy. So really short kind of stuff to really help kickstart people with using their current slide software better, because I know everybody knows how to use it. Everybody can open it and create some slides. So this is really going to focus on, these are probably things you didn't even know you could do, or these are things you should, maybe not do. Here's what you should be doing instead. So it's really going to be focused on that. So that's another reason I said to sign up for my Communication Cafe newsletter, because that's pretty much the first people who are going to get the links to those. So
wow.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
That is so exciting. That sounds like the training that everybody needs, right? Because we all need to know how to use our current software better and more efficiently. So
exactly.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, this has been wonderful. I have loved getting to talk to you today and hearing all about your work and letting everyone know that they should sign up for the Communication Cafe so that they can learn exclusive tips from you. And thank you so much. Is there anything you wanted to add?
No, just thank you so much for having me. And I think it's great that you're doing these short interviews. So yeah, just big thank you for doing this. And yeah, I hope that I can help people create better presentations.